What's going on, everybody? Super DJ Rich Steele here for Digital DJ Gear. And today I have 5 tips for beginner DJs. Everybody was once a beginner, and everybody goes through situations that aren't that favorable. I'm here to give you some tips, so hopefully you won't have to go through that. Here we go. Before we jump in, please like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and turn on notifications for more videos from Digital DJ Gear. Tip number 1. I know this sounds like an obvious one, but be prepared. If you prepare for the worst, then if the worst happens, it won't be the worst. Guys, have extra headphones with you. If you're using like a Pioneer controller, you know that they have those external power supplies. Make sure you have your power supply with you. Because you know what? If you don't, you can't perform. You don't want to ever be in a situation that because of something you forgot, you can't perform. Then the club doesn't have a DJ. It makes you look bad. You're ruining the crowd experience. And overall, it's a definite no-no. Remember, you're a beginner DJ and you're trying to get multiple gigs out of this one. If you go unprepared and you make yourself look bad on stage by not being able to play music because you forgot something, the odds are you're not going to get called back for that club. I know it sounds obvious, but be prepared, guys. Tip number 2, leave the practicing for at home. Guys, the stage is nowhere to be practicing that complicated scratch or that complicated transition or to try to DJ on 4 decks at one time. You have to remember, people are watching you. The club owners and promoters are depending on you to entertain their crowd that night, and the crowd is out there looking for a good time. If you're trying to do all these crazy things you haven't perfected, it's not going to sound right unless it comes out perfect. And if it doesn't sound right, you're ruining the experience. Guys, the stage is nowhere to practice. If you want to practice, practice at home before the club, not on stage. Tip number 3, confidence. I know it sounds a little crazy to say, but if you step on stage acting like you know exactly what you're doing and that you know that you're gonna rock out, you're already winning half the battle before you even fight. A DJ that is not confident is gonna have their face in their laptop the whole time. You're not gonna be able to see them because they're so worried about what the next song they're gonna play is, and they don't know if they're gonna like it, so their confidence is lacking. And you can see that throughout the DJ. You don't want Serato face when you're on stage. You want to go up on stage like you've been planning this for months and that you got this, because you know what? This ain't difficult for you. Even if it is difficult for you, fake it till you make it. Tip number 4. Guys, have multiple genres of music ready in your hard drive or your USB key or your laptop. What I mean by this, let's just say if you're doing a party that is predominantly hip hop, or predominantly Caribbean, or predominantly Latin. Sometimes by having that outside genre, you drop that one track and that crowd will explode. I recently did a party where it was mostly hip hop and R&B, and out of nowhere, I got the vibe that they wanted to hear a Latin bachata track. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna test this one out. I dropped it, the crowd erupted. They told me it was the first time they ever heard that genre track on that night, that I killed it. Whoa, you're crazy. You dropped it and everybody loved it. And it was only because I had multiple genres and I was prepared for anything that might have been in front of me. Guys, when you go out to DJ in that club, have multiple genres ready to go, because you never know what track might make the crowd go off. Tip number 5, and my last tip, guys. When you're on stage, expect the worst. What I mean by expect the worst is, obviously you have high hopes that you're gonna have a smooth night and that everything's gonna go fine. But if you go in thinking that, you're not gonna be prepared if something bad happens. If you go in expecting the worst, you're gonna be prepared for the worst. What I mean by being prepared for the worst is, have a backup hard drive in case your hard drive goes. Have a backup laptop with like your program that you use on it. In case your hard drive or your laptop decides to crash on you, the show goes on. Have an extra set of headphones. Have an extra XLR. Just have extra of whatever is going to be detrimental for your show to go on. Because at the end of the day, no matter what, the show must go on. And you don't want it to be your fault that it doesn't. And ladies and gentlemen, those are my 5 tips for beginner DJs. Guys, follow my tips and hopefully you guys won't have to go through these mistakes that a lot of DJs go through. I'm not saying that you're not gonna go through mistakes, but pay attention to these tips and you won't have to go through them as bad. I'm Super DJ Rich Steele for Digital DJ Gear signing out. Take care. We hope you enjoyed this video from Digital DJ Gear and Musically Yours. Be sure to leave a comment below if this video helped you and check out these other videos we think you'd like. Until next time, thanks for watching.